Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to part two of the video. Yeah, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing now. All right. So camp doctrine. All right. Let's look at some camp doctrines. All right, because this whole thing about natives being the Israelites, that's what it is. It's a camp doctrine. So let's look at some other camp doctrines that we have in Israel. We'll address the Hispanic thing because this is the scriptures that they use to tell the Hispanics that they're Israelites, and then we'll go into the natives, okay, the so-called natives, all right, which, when they say Hispanic, even though I give the definitions in part one of this video, sometimes, many times actually, what people are referring to is the natives in this now Spanish-speaking places like, Mexico and Brazil, and where else? Maybe Panama and these places, right? These natives who were all across North and South America. That's who they're sometimes speaking of, right? But anyway, let's look at first the cake unturned doctrine, okay? Hosea 7 and 4. Hosea 7 and 4, right? Hosea 7 and 4. They, they are all adulterers, as an oven heated by the baker. Uh-oh. Cake unturned, talking about your skin? Is it? When the Most High just say they are all adulterers, as an oven heated by the baker, who ceaseth from raising after he hath kneaded the dough, until it be leavened. Yeah? They're all adulterers, as the oven heated by the baker. They're adulterers like an oven heated by a baker. So this is comparing adultery to the heat of the oven of a baker, right? This has nothing to do with your skin color, right? Watch this, right? And, it may be expedient for me to just kind of read some of this stuff here. And maybe you look at the scriptures as you're going, especially in this part here, right? Because my phone's kind of slow, and I want this lesson to be expedient. I don't really want to drag it out. They are all adulterers, like an oven heated by a baker, right? That's the point here. It's adultery, right? Hot, like their adultery is hot like a heated oven, which means what? That's all they own. They want people's husband, they want people's wives, right? Verse 6 says, for they have made ready their heart like an oven. They have made ready what? Their heart like an oven. Is this talking about skin, brothers and sisters? It said they made ready their heart, which means their mind, like an oven. While they lie in wait, their baker sleepeth. So they lie in wait to do the adultery. Yeah? Their baker sleepeth all the night. In the morning it burneth as a flaming fire. Their baker sleepeth all the night. In the morning, what is burning like a flaming fire? The heart is burning, the mind burning like a flaming fire. You know? It says, let's go to 6 here. Right? And then we'll do 7, 8, 7, and then 8 to 11. All right. Let's have a look here. Right? You know, I mean, change directions in the presentation, live. This is in the spirit. We got to do what makes sense, right? And is right and true and expedient. For they have made ready their heart like an oven, whilst they lie in wait. Their baker sleepeth all the night, in the morning it burneth as a flaming fire. Right? Let's see. You know what? Let me read on from 4. They are all adulterers, as an oven heated by the baker, who ceaseth from raising after ye have kneaded the dough. So they're all adulterers, that's the point. Verse 5. In the day of our king, the princes have made him sick with what? Bottles of wine. He stretched out his hand with what? Scorners. What are these people doing? They're involved in sin. For they have made ready their heart like an oven. Whilst they lie in wait, their bakers sleep whilst they lie in wait. Right? They made their mind like an oven, heated to do the sin. Right? While they lie in wait. They can't wait to get an opportunity to sin. The baker sleepeth all night, in the morning it burneth as a fire. So their mind is on fire to do the sin. A whole night they've been thinking about it. They are all hot as an oven. They are what? All hot as an oven. No, they look like bread in the oven. No, they are all hot as an oven and have devoured their judges. What did they do? They devoured their rulers. All their kings have fallen. By what? Wine, right? Which the double meaning is false doctrine, right? But also drunkenness, right? Let's see. The kings are fallen. There is none among them that calleth unto me. Come on, brothers and sisters. Is this talking about skin color? It says there is none among them that calleth unto me. This is talking about sin. Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Ephraim mixed himself among the people to do what? Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not. Yea, grey hairs are hair, and they are there upon him, yet he knoweth it not. The Most High is describing to you what this cake unturned means. Strangers devour his strength. His strength is what? Righteousness. And he doesn't even know he lost his righteousness. Right? It says he has gray hairs and he doesn't even know. Why? And what else has happened? And the pride of Israel testifieth to its face. Is pride a skin color, or does that have to do with a lack of righteousness? The pride of Israel testifieth to his face, and they do not return to Yahweh their God, nor seek him for all this. Is this talking about skin color, brothers and sisters? Or is this talking about people who have gone away from the Most High God? It's talking about people that have gone away from the Most High God. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart, without a mind. Why? They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. The Most I tell you, the northern kingdom is leaning on Egypt and Assyria and not leaning on him. That's what this cake unturned scripture is all about. Right? I hope that's clear for you, brothers and sisters. Right? Because it's pretty clear to me. Right? All right. Let's see. What else we got here? So, that's a cut, with these Hispanics. Talking about the man's a cake unturned, and so he's brown skin. He mixed himself among the people. Total and utter and complete garbage. Right? That's not true. Right? Okay, let's look at the faces like lions. First Chronicles 12:8. Right? See what we got here. Right? First Chronicles 12:8. Right? First Chronicles 12:8. 12 and verse 8. Right? The Gadites, the tribe of Gad, one tribe. The Gadites, and of the Gadites, they separated themselves unto David into the hold to the wilderness of men of might and men of war fit for the battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions and were as swift as roes upon the mountains. Right? So Israel uses this to teach that the natives are Israelites. Right? Some say it's just the tribe of Gad. Right? But some say, you see, the 12 tribes are natives. The 10 tribes are natives. Right? From this one scripture. Right? Now, admittedly, when it talk about them being swift as roes upon the mountains, that does sound like natives because that's the reputation that natives have. But it also says they have faces like lions. Yeah? And it says this is talking about God specifically, right? Who joined themselves to David, right? So let's look a little deeper into this. Faces like lions. Does that mean Israel like to post this picture and say, see, these people look like lions, which they do in their old age, right? So because they look like lions and we know them to be swift as roes upon the mountains, there you have it. That's the tribe of Gad, or that's the 10 tribes, right? Right? Well, let's examine this a little bit closer, right? Because according to this scripture, it's talking about Gad, but according to the camps, it goes between Gad and the 10 tribes, right? But what you will find is that this is not the only metaphor that the Most High have in the scriptures for describing people's countenance. Remember, these were what? Mighty men. That's why I tell you they have faces like lions. Hard face. Some people even tell me, my wife tells me all the time I have a hard face. You understand? I just look vexed all the time. Look at a lion, right? Does he look like he's smiling all the time? Right? No, he doesn't, right? So I'm going to show you guys that this was just a metaphor for the countenance of these men, right? And the appearance of these men because of their might. These were metaphors for these, how they move, simply. And it's not evidence to show that natives are the Israelites. So Isaiah 50 and 7, you're going to find the Most High, say certain man have face like flint, right? Does that mean that when somebody have a flint looking face, then you automatically they are so and such and such a person? Automatically it tells you that this is who the Most High is talking about, the flint faced man. Hmm? Right? For Yahweh will help me, therefore shall I not be confounded. Therefore have I set my face like a flint, and I know that I shall not be ashamed. What does this mean, brothers and sisters? One set of brothers had faces like lions, mighty men. Another brother set his face as a flint. Does that mean he molded his face so now it looked like a flint stone? Is that what it means? What does it mean? Put it in the comments, right? What does it mean that he set his face as flint, right? Moving on. See, I'm here to teach, but I don't want to just spoon feed you everything. I want you to use your head and think, right? Joel 2 and 6. Joel 2 and 6. Before their faces the people shall be much trouble, much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. Right? So does that mean all faces are all of a sudden gonna turn from white to black? Mm? When the Most High returns with the angels, which is what this is talking about, and the Israelites, with their changed bodies, slaughtering the heathen. Mm? Is everyone all of a sudden gonna turn black? No, this is a metaphor when it says faces shall gather blackness. Just like it was a metaphor talking about faces of lions and moving upon the mountains like roes. Now I know that this may sound obvious, but I want to show you guys like that these simple-minded explanations that they're giving to try to shoehorn people into Israel just don't make any sense, right? So faces shall gather blackness. That means white people and Asians all of a sudden gonna turn black. Is that what that means, brothers and sisters? I don't think so, right? Isaiah 13 and verse 8. This is a good one. Isaiah 13 and verse 8. Isaiah 13, verse 8. Right? They shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. What happened? They shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. Right? They shall be amazed at one another. See, the Most High is giving you similes and metaphors. This is all throughout the Bible. But our camps, our congregations, some of our congregations want to take these similes and metaphors and make them literal. This is off as hell. Finishing up, their faces shall be as flames. So the Most High give you the description first. He say they're gonna be like a woman that travailing in pain. He say they will be afraid, right? He give you the the entire description. Then he tell you the metaphor at the end. Their faces shall be as flames. So brothers and sisters, these faces like lions, right, is not literal, right? It's metaphorical. You understand? Showing you both the emotional state, right, and the appearance of these men when it have to do with their seriousness, not what they actually look like, right? So that's those two camp doctrines. Now let's look at what we came here to look at, right?